I went to college hell bent on becoming a medical doctor. I really saw college as just a means to an end of getting to medical school until I took a women's studies class my sophomore year. And I was blown away by the study of relationships and the intersection of gender and sexuality and race, and looking at the macro systems of power and oppression and the space between people. And that really led me to pivot. And I knew I still wanted to be in a helping profession. And so moving towards clinical psychology just made so much sense to me. It allowed me to still be seeing myself as a provider and a person of service, but really able to sit in the complexities of human relationships. My advice for new therapists is to give themselves permission to sit at the intersection of being and becoming, right? So when you are a new therapist, you are a therapist. You are being a therapist despite the imposter syndrome, despite the fact that you're going to be a better, calmer, more well-equipped therapist 5, 10, 15 years from now. You are still a therapist. So really be a therapist and know that your most powerful tool in the treatment room is yourself. It's you, it's your authenticity and your presence. And then the becoming is give yourself permission to evolve. I think there's an immense amount of pressure on young therapists today to really have themselves branded and positioned within this ecosystem. Like it's amazing that therapists are now the cool kids and that we've got all these really amazing ways that we get to show up in a public facing way outside of our offices. And I want therapists to play in that space while also giving themselves permission to just take it a step at a time and to know that you will, God willing, have a beautiful, long, unfolding career. So take your time, get your reps in, spend lots of time in your office doing the work, getting supervision, asking questions, feeling confused. So let yourself also be on the journey of becoming. Oh my gosh. Easy answer. Tea all the way. Starbucks, venti, one chai tea bag, one English breakfast tea bag, inch of steamed soy every day. It's my magic potion. I love tea and I have great, great, great disdain for coffee. There is a cruelty to this question because I love all of my therapy books. My shelves are full, but I'm going to go with my current favorite is the sixth edition of the Handbook of Couples Therapy, which is edited by Jay LeBeau and Doug Snyder, because it's just an incredible collection of pieces from my most treasured mentors, teachers, and colleagues. I I love working on craft projects. For many, many years, I have made quilts of all kinds. It's been a while since I've tackled a full quilt, but I really enjoy getting my sewing machine out. I think that by contrast to therapy, which is messy and you don't always know where you've been or where you're going, when you're sitting in front of your sewing machine, everything is highly, angular, linear. You're going from here to there, and you end up with this beautiful finished product. I prefer dogs. I prefer dogs. We've got a little 12-year-old schnoodle named Sawyer, who is just my therapy dog. She sits right next to me all day when I'm seeing clients. She's little enough to go in a bed on the desk, and I love her, and I love all the dogs, and I embarrass my family because I can't walk past the dog without talking to the dog and petting the dog and oohing and eyeing. I think I'm a little bit of both. And so I'm so tired all the time. I really like the late night hours when everybody else is sleeping. And sometimes I will stay up late and get work done. And so I enjoy sort of that like late night productivity. But there is nothing that feels better than getting up early, getting a workout in first thing, and then just kind of facing the day from there. I'm not as consistent as I want to be around that, but I like a good early morning, wake up, get the workout in, and then just hit the ground running. I think the next big thing that's going to come out of the therapy world is continued fusions and integrations that are creative and that honor the way in which we've got to always be thinking about our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our spirits. And so I think that therapy has been an awfully heady field. That's sort of our origin story. And I think we're in this really powerful moment of returning to our bodies and the wisdom of our bodies and kind of having that from the ground up. So I think that's going to be, there's going to be all kinds of exciting fusions of dance and therapy and martial arts and therapy, and ways in which our bodies and our minds and our language kind of all come together. So I'm here for all of that. I think that for me, the toughest clients are a couple who can neither let go nor re-engage. I think that beginning therapists are often afraid of couples that are loud, that are yelling, where the conflict is really heated. And I think that certainly is dysregulating for the therapist. But I think what's harder than that is a couple where it's really hard to find any bridge between the two of them. But there's also they're having a hard time letting each other go with permission and grace and gentleness. And then the therapist is sort of enlisted into this liminal space where we're neither growing nor releasing. I think those cases are really quite challenging for me. The way that I reset and maintain my wellness is through relationships, because even though I'm in relationship all day with my therapy clients and my students, I do a really good job of taking off my therapist hat or my professor hat and just being a sister or a daughter or a wife or a mama or a friend. And in those relationships, I really like let myself receive. I think so much of our work as therapists is giving and holding that kind of bigger space. And so I think the way that I reset is in relationships where I just really get to let down and just be me and not have to be in charge, making meaning, trying to stay one step ahead.